Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. 69 days until the death of Farmville. And we have a VXP weekend upon us that is relatively disappointing relative to the last year of them, I think. But we'll talk about that later. And let me introduce everybody. And the link is in the chat in case anybody would like to join. Lady Cat.
Hello.
And Derpy.
Submarine.
There you go. And KB.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and get started and go to the calendar. All right. We're in the midst of VXP weekend. Bounty next weekend. Along with, one more click. All right. Next weekend, we also have the Assault TLC, which we'll get into in a little bit. I have a slide in that, which is going to allow you to get upgrade and build tokens for your Photon. And as far as I can tell, you can't even really spend your FM tokens from this week. I'm in order to save max tokens for Pillage November 4th, which is not. I don't know. I was worried last month about getting everything done, and this month, for some reason, I'm even more worried. But it worked out last month. I don't know. Does anybody feel that there's a little bit more dock pressure than there was?
Well, I don't feel the pressure to save 2 months or 2 weeks worth of tokens and then pillage week, so 3 total. I don't feel the need to save all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe save the week before on pillage. The good thing is the actual time to equip the specials, weapons, etc. on your ship is fairly low.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, if that makes sense. So once you have the 4 blanks built, you're already a fairly high percent of the way done.
So it's a full build is about how many days?
I'm gonna say I don't want to say a number that's incorrect.
Okay. I won't push you on it then.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have the raid the following week. Next week we have the Assault TLC and Bounty, and we do learn the new name of the next skirmish hall, which is Ronin. So I don't know. Any more thoughts on this? Anybody?
Well, that calendar actually checks out in terms of what day is, like Wednesday is the 2nd, December 2nd, for example. Like those dates check out. One complaint I have here is that it says take a look at November 20th Assault. It says the Assault TLC. Actually, that's not true. November 25th, the Assault TLC. It says it's the Photon when actually it's the Zealot and the Photon if you coined it. So the Zealot for most people. That's the one, I guess, complaint I have about this. But other than that, it looks good to me.
Well, October 28th, I think, is a bigger concern than November 25th.
Yeah, those are both. Yeah, definitely. The first one's definitely harder.
Yeah,
and
considering we've already had to put it through a raid, I think October 28th is probably the one that I'm concerned with. But that's sort of the way they've been doing it, so I don't have any huge issues with that. All right. I don't know if we want to do it now or, let's go ahead and go to BP next week. All right. We have it's a very special October bounty. 4 campaigns as well. Shadow and Flame Hellsworm campaign. New Cyber Strike Photon ECM campaign, which we're gonna. I think the next slide is a surrogate for that as far as your expectations, and Mutineer on the Bounty and Titan Awakening. So it'll be interesting to have 2 new TLCs during Bounty. Does that make you think that they realize that there's people that are not participating in Bounty, that the fact that they're dropping 2 new time limited campaigns during Bounty?
I think they realize it. I don't think they care.
I mean, it doesn't make the 4 number isn't really relevant. I mean, I'm focusing on the 2 new ones. I mean, we have one that's the really important one every time, which is the Photon ECM one, and then the Shadow and Flame one. I wouldn't run a campaign with PvP prizes the same time as Bounty with PvP prizes. That doesn't make a whole ton of sense to me.
Yeah, because you can't get out of Bounty, and so being in Bounty and participating in TLCs is not always the best combination.
I mean, I think you don't like it in terms of time spent repairing and you're docking down halfway through or something. I don't like it just in terms of amount of time I feel like I am required to play.
Yeah.
Particularly when there's generally only one bounty target that you can hit.
Yeah. Which will
be interesting because we are going to get, those bounty targets are likely going to have that new tier 9 gun in them, as well as having in the other maybe upgrades or things,
Well, certainly the Gatekeeper upgrade, I'll guarantee that'll be in there.
I won't guarantee it, but...
Well, they generally, anything new goes in their fleets and their weapons straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, before they're even released, they're...
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say, so...
Yeah, I was agreeing with you, yeah.
It's just getting exponentially harder and harder each new bounty, and, it's just making it that more difficult to get the points that they're going to ask for everything that you want to get anyway.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's I'm sorry, there was an emergency message that popped on my TV, and it was all in Spanish. It was I don't know what's
You're being invaded.
Yeah, because it's weird. It's like the weather is calm and whatnot. Why am I getting? Because most of the time the test of the emergency broadcast system are like 3 o'clock in the morning, not at 10 after 7. So my time in the evening. So I'm sorry for me being distracted. Okay, we have a tier 9, and we're gonna get. There's a design diary that's coming as well. We're getting a new tier 9 Armageddon scattergun, heavy turret, Hellswarm. So we're getting defensive and offensive stuff. Everybody knows my opinion that I think that a lot of the defensive stuff. Derpy disagrees with me on this, but I think a lot of the base defense stuff should be made available in another avenue besides Bounty.
Yeah, because if we don't PvP, we don't have the Conquerors. If we don't have the Conquerors, we can't do Bounty. So then we can't get the defense stuff, and then our bases get overrun, and then it just makes us not even want to try anymore. It makes us give up. People like me. Makes me give up. I think it made Mike give up.
Yeah. So, alrighty, and I guess we can move on to the next slide. All right, this sort of Legion TLC is. Could you go back? I'll figure it out on my own. What is the name of the TLC? Cyber Strike Photon ECM campaign.
Say it 3 times fast.
Yes, but this is what I'm putting this up as a surrogate. What our expectations should be: 80,000 VXP tokens, 80,000 value of VXP tokens. 8 days of build tokens, 5 days of upgrade tokens for your photon, along with 10 of the blacklight missiles, I think, and then the assorted limited specials, the non-limited weapon, non-limited specials, and then what did we figure out? It's like 280, 260. I didn't add that up
Yeah,
again.
it's 280. I was just adding it up, and I've counted on that at this point. I got 80 Gladius kits in the raid. I'm gonna get 280 this time, 280 the next time, and that'll be enough for normal ones. Other people got 640 day one. I mean, okay, if you want to and you have the points, but I just got 280. I mean, there's no reason to expect any different. It's all just the same thing with different names at this point.
Yeah. Yep. And so that's the expectation. I didn't even. The funny part of it is I got the in the last raid. I got the 100,000 points for the 100,000 point badge, but I didn't get the low level badge because I never claimed the strobe light missile.
I got that one this time accidentally.
Yeah.
You got the 100 million points.
Yeah, the 100 million. I got the 100 million points, but I didn't get the other badge because I didn't want to claim that one because I assumed it would be available in Prize Pack 2. So thought it was a waste of points. So that's everybody's expectation, and so again, it's only 80,000 VXP points available out of tokens. That includes all 5 mastery rounds.
And that means you can get not even one ship.
Yeah, not even one ship, including the fact that they added 1 day to every ship, which is putting a lot of pressure on people as far as getting VXP weekend done.
It sort of just means you need to use your FM tokens. It will work best if you use your FM tokens this week on building your last blank and just suicide them.
You don't have to suicide them. Does anybody want to do a walkthrough with me as far as like what I'm doing?
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. I do have.
It's long and laborious. That's why I'm wondering where Mike is from.
Oh, it sounds like Battle Pirates.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like something that Mike would like to do. I don't know why he's not here.
I'll suicide him, but go ahead.
Well, but to get maximum value out of that.
Out of the crew, yeah.
Yeah, because if you're going to use a triple salty. But if you want to share Derpy, or I don't know if you want to share your most recent conquest, or you want to share your screen as far as like the walkthrough of the way to do it for not having to coin anything or use tokens. And then, everybody knows that Derpy wasn't here on Wednesday because he was
I'm bringing it back, don't worry.
Well, I keep on, because he was negotiating his deal with McDonald's on the Derpy meal. Because if you watch previous shows, you know that that's a new celebrity endorsement thing of people that I have not heard of. So it looks fairly healthy here. There's not a lot of.
You have about a quarter of an apple, a few French fries, some chicken nuggets. We still give you a straw with your milk. We don't really like sea turtles, so we still use straws, and it's great. And don't worry about what's inside the big box too much. It's definitely not anything beef related.
Yeah. It is quite something that, is it a profit sharing thing? How is that working out?
Yeah. So I just get 200% of the profit is what we agreed on. So
okay. Because I always assumed these for a, we're not going to give you any money. We're not going to give, I always consider it like there was a lack of a cash transfer. It was just sort of like, we'll make you famous and your fans will come here. Yeah. And, Cow McNuggets. It doesn't look like cow in there, just to be honest.
Yeah, we couldn't have that.
Yeah,
Didn't have any cow.
Yeah, there's not a lot of cow going on. So go to your local McDonald's tomorrow. Does this start tomorrow, or does this not start until?
It's already live right now. If you
Okay.
go right now in your vehicle.
Okay. And as for the Derpy meal,
Mm-hmm.
and how much is the Derpy meal?
$14.99.
$14.99. Jesus Christ! No wonder you get 200% of the profits.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't. I'm hard pressed to spend $14.99 on that. I mean, $1.49, but $14.99. That seems a little exuberant.
Particularly when it's a half-eaten chicken.
yeah. I mean,
they had some strict negotiators there. I couldn't get around. You can't have a whole piece there.
I mean, have you taken a bite out of each one, and that's why it's $14.99? Like, well, Derpy's bitten into one of each, so you got a half-eaten Derpy nugget.
Yeah, exactly. And there's actually no milk in that jug. I finished it all.
I see. Alrighty. So, alrighty. Well, we've learned a lot on the show so far, and we'll run through the VXP target. We're going to start off with the Zealots. Okay, we're going to have the Zealots out, and then and we'll follow it up with the Photo ECM, or the Photon.
I have to find one of these things. I did hit one earlier with one ship. It wasn't very entertaining or fun or useful. Roll one ender from.
This is not fun. Not fun at all, and it's not quick. It's just the best thing that I found, as far as if you don't want to spend all your tokens or spend a lot of gold in repairs. And I'm still not sure that this is going to. Okay, go to the right, down into the right. Avoid all those ships. What you're going to want to do is you're going to see and again, in this target, the Zealots the drones have no idea what they're supposed to be doing. So, this one's already been hit. Okay, as you can see, the island's already popped up. Aim for that. Aim for this missile turret. Yeah. Aim for the missile turret, and you're going to find a sub that's going to be behind it. So you're going to want to kill that. And start turning right, but keeping that sub in range, because you don't want to damage the
building right here.
Yeah.
Do I kill this thing?
Okay. No, you're good. Just get out of there and let them die. Yeah, you're a little close. The drones are shooting at it and taking away a little bit of VXP. And so the next step is pretty easy. You bring in, after you retreat, you bring in your photons, and you just start firing at this. That scatter gun above it, you're going to be out of range unless you do something weird. But basically, you just drive around and just kill this uranium generator or titanium, whatever it is. And it's going to take a long time. You're not going to get a ton of points. It's like I said, it's a disappointing VXP weekend because the people that are having a good time with it are. And how much damage did you take on that? It was taking like 20 minutes.
It could even be a little bit less than that. I'll check again.
So, but by the time that is all taken care of, okay. Your ships will be, because it's going to take forever unless you have how many. How are your ships equipped?
One is partially built, and the others are just blanks with one weapon. And one's a thud, one has a missile. 8 minutes damage on that one.
Okay, the thud one is going to be a difficult one. So maybe
even the one with just one weapon. I mean, I don't want to spend half an hour driving around looking for this.
Well, you're not driving around. You know, after you set them up, you can walk away for 15 minutes. So the thud one, I'm not really sure
That
how.
won't do any damage.
Well, I'm only afraid that the thud one might cause some issues because it might get in range of the scattergun behind it, and then cause splash on the rest of your ships. That's my only fear here.
Well,
So that one might have to wait. Personally, I have 3 ships complete with 1 missile each. Okay, and basically come back in 15 minutes, put them in the same position again, and once you kill this thing, you're gonna get.
It won't take me 15 minutes to kill this thing.
Well, for me, it takes more than it takes like 45 minutes to kill this thing.
This ship has a few weapons and 6 missiles and stuff on it. So
okay. So yeah, you're going to be able to kill it much faster, but in regards to a way to, the more missiles, more specials, the more built you are, the better. But yeah, that thud one's gonna. I don't know. Yeah, you could probably eke it out.
But it's a thud 1. It's going to do no damage, and I have 4 million armor.
Yeah.
There we go. You can see the little tiny projectile.
Yep, there we go. So that's basically the way I've been doing it. As far as, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think you get enough VXP out of it in order to make it worthwhile. Because, like I said, you're only getting with a double salty, the normal salty, you're only getting 20, like 25K, and for 4 ships you need 400K. Yours killing it much faster.
Yeah, and that one ship's going to be done and ranked, and then it will go slower.
Yeah, the rest of them will be like,
Well, I bet I can, with my range extender, I bet I can get this Death Scythe. Or this, whatever you want to call it.
Venom Spitter? I have no idea what it's called.
Yeah, Venom Spitter.
There you go.
Because you outrange these ones pretty easily, and these ones are big missile turrets that shoot like 20 shots at you, and all in a row in a salvo.
The one thing I am curious about is if you have the one above, unless you noticed it in your when you were dealing with the zealots, are those missiles? Well, I'll just cut straight to the question. Do you know if which of these missiles are counterable? And
I think I've seen my missile defense system shoot at this thing right here. We can take the zealots and drive around in here afterward just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
I think these are counterable. I don't think the stonefish, that stuff that was about here I killed, I don't think that one is counterable.
Okay. So
I'll bet I can get this thing too.
Yeah. So the missile
extender. If you have a range extender, even if you take, I don't know how long Solid Fuel Booster 3 takes to put on your ships, because you obviously don't have 5 of the one you're going to end up using, or the one that Kixeye the one the Forsaken Mission. You don't have 5 of those yet.
Yeah.
So if Solid Fuel Booster 3 is a low build time, and you want to stick it on here, it's an option.
Yeah. But again, like I said, I would have much rather had penetrative battery in the FM than and been able to claim all of the laser focus and in the raid.
Interestingly, my profile picture has reset. I saw a few other people running into that issue.
Yeah, I lost mine too.
Yeah, it means they're tagging you to ban you.
Okay, well, that's happened once.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the retreat button is not resetting, while the UAV, which has like 110 range, which you can't see, it's not resetting. So that's a good thing, I guess.
That looks like a lot more than 110.
I don't remember what it is.
No, but I think it is 110. But that looked like your distance was.
Yeah, well, the normal range of missiles is what, 90 something,
96.
isn't it?
Yeah, 96. Yeah.
Now that UAV just reduces enemy accuracy.
Yes.
Okay, Zealots got nothing. 32,000 all on that one ship, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I have on that ship. It's the. Let me show it and I did hit that once before. Let me load in. This is what I have called the core build, which is things that I'm 100% sure about and we'll be having on all of them. So that's got six missiles, the limited engine, the penetrative battery 2, 9.5 special that came out with the hole, and then the range extender.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue range extenders. There's a few others that you could potentially look at, but the new stuff always generally speaking, seems to be better unless there's a clear alternative that's different, such as high velocity rounds. But that's another story. Anyway, so I guess I don't need to spend a minute repairing that.
You only get 6 minutes of damage?
Oop.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I think I tried to repair it while it was. I tried to cancel it while it was already canceled.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but
and
it's
take my zealots in there and kill some things just so we can see the target.
Yeah. So, but as far as HTML5, we talked a little bit last week and earlier this week as far as at least my personal journey with HTML5. And prior to Monday or Tuesday, I was not able to get into HTML5. That was fixed, and Kickstarter worked with me to get that done. And then once I got in there, I realized all sorts of, like, at least my experience was all sorts of bad things. I was autoing 135s, and I was trying to make it work, and then I realized that my all my range, all my auras around my ship were not there. So it was just my ship, but the auras from my mortars from the flag, those showed up. I'm sorry. We should be. Is there anything? And do you have any idea why they're stunned at the beginning?
I have no idea why. And
Okay.
if you watch this turret, you can see my anti-missiles are firing, even if they're not very effective. So there's that answer. The ships also seem to be halfway underwater most of the time. I've seen it look different on Flash than HTML5, honestly. The little ships sometimes are there, sometimes aren't. I mean, we have them. This ship's like 95% underwater. I can't even see it. Like, that doesn't. Now it's fully submerged. I can't see a timer on it. It disappears. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense here, and isn't really explained in any way. They don't talk about why we have no idea why they're stunned at the start. There's a random sonar circle. The other ships sometimes look like they have a blue electric cloud around them if you're on Flash, but not HTML5. So
Yeah, I'm assuming that's related to the generators providing the defense. Are you sure is something going to pop up there? Because I've saw the Apex Predator. No, nothing's going to pop up there. Apex Predator went and did the whole target, and there's like some other stuff that we haven't even seen yet that pops up.
Yeah, there's a random sonar circle. Other things that, if we get close to this one, it's over here. This building, did that die, or did I kill that? Here we go. And then this missile does not appear to be countered by anything from the stonefish.
Okay.
I don't know what this building does. I assume it's the makes it stronger approach again.
Yeah,
So that's an assumption.
this is a
Gives it
defensive
survival.
aura generator, as I recall, but we don't see. I mean,
Then there's another building. I think that building stuns them right there. That tall, pointy one I just killed in one shot.
okay, the obelisk one. Okay, yeah, the obelisk one. Okay, that stuns them for some period of time.
Which we saw before in the last raid, where structures popped up in the middle of nowhere, which was cannoneers and ironclads.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually looking like a pretty doable target with zealots. Here's the little fast ships I was talking about. They die in about one shot, but they look like they're 95% underwater, and they have a weird cloud around them sometimes and flash.
Yeah,
and you can sometimes see things with a debuff arrow when you shouldn't be able to see them.
Yeah. And the drones seem to be drunker than normal, don't they?
They target whatever is closest at the time that they know exists at the time that you spawn in, is my understanding.
Okay.
And now it's off the map. I can't see it. So there we go. That's exciting. So, for example, if I'm right here, I tell the drones, to go towards this, before they spawn, I click on this scattergun turret, and I spin in a circle, they'll go towards that one. If I do it before they spawn in. If I tell them to go to the depth size over here, when they spawn, they're going to head towards that one. You can't control them once they've launched, but you can sort of tell them what they should be going towards before they're launched.
And they will not go after. Yeah, they're not going after the submerged ship. Well, they are.
Yeah, they are. They just shot at it. The ghost crawler might be different because it has a deep dive and is sometimes shrouded or blue electric shrouds or something. The other thing is these missiles. I don't know if these stonefish missiles are doing splash damage or not. Everything else is intuitive, basically. I'll bet a large sum of money that this is corrosive splash damage, and that and it's dumbfire, and that these depth size are accuracy based, penetrative damage that is not splash. And it is missing, so evade will work against these things, apparently. Again, here's this large structure that we don't really know what it does yet. So there's your target. I'm not a fan of this layout with things that pop up out of nowhere. And I thought Scourge was sort of a skirmish thing, and this feels like a skirmish target. But I guess there are a few buildings. And
and you have a good amount of evade.
And this green evade bar counts both things that are evaded and shot down by countermeasures. Yeah. I didn't see a whole lot. Most of the stuff at the enemy missiles seem to have really, really high flak evade. I think most of this is actually probably from real evade.
Yeah, because I saw that in... I got too close, and I was showing evade, and I don't have any countermeasures on my ship. I mean, that might be interesting experiments for people as far as like trying to understand it. If you don't have any countermeasures, but you have evade and sending ships into that. Yeah,
it will work. I mean, I don't know what level your ship with just this number its number's wrong. It should say 32% evade. If you have a ship with 32% evade, will everything hit? If you have a ship with 60% evade or whatever this one is, this one's probably about 43% is my guess. The tactical lab bonus is displayed wrong. Will this evade be enough to have some miss? Will you need to add guidance score number 3? I don't know. I don't really feel like testing coining builds to test any of that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm not learning a whole lot from these targets in terms of, I guess these last two specials. I'm thinking one should be a countermeasure, at least on one ship. I don't know if TSM, I think, was hoping his flagship would be able to have a countermeasure 1. I don't expect it to allow more than 2 slots. I'm thinking one of these should be a countermeasure special, And then the other, I mean, the health on these things seems so high. I could do a little bit of math, figure out compared to the Zealots, but I would think that high-speed missile jets could be a good option here. But that 35% isn't a huge number.
Yeah.
So maybe you go with Hyper 30 there in that last slot because speed seems to be somewhat important.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisions because you only get 30% of aid with the with Hyper 30, obviously, but then you get 50% with Gun Scrambler, and how important is putting Gun Scrambler on these ships is.
We don't really know,
Yeah.
and the idea, at least my hope is that we're building ships that if you don't get it right the first time is going to set you back in that first raid. So I'd like to know what I'm building ships to do before I finish the design for them, which I guess is what VXP Weekend is sort of supposed to be. But when all the non-corners have maybe one ship that's kind of partially built and 3 blanks, there's not a lot of information to go on here.
Did you see Apex Predator hit with his video?
I watched 2 others. I didn't watch his.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I didn't get a lot out of it is because, it's sped up and, when he's hitting it, he's trying to hit the target the best he can as far as getting the best repair time. So, which isn't always the most informative thing to do.
Yeah, you rather do some, testing or whatever, and trying to see if I get, how close can I get to those corrosive turrets, for example. What if I kill those yellow things first or last? What range do these enemy things start actually shooting at me?
Yeah. So, and in regards, I'm going to switch back to Lady Cat at this point. Let's go to the next. I think it's the next slide. Yeah, the designer diary, which is the second part. I think is going to get into some of the issues that you were just discussing. But we'll deal with the whoops. That should be PvP. Sorry, everybody. The first 2 bullets deal with PvP. The rest of Tier 9 will not see the release of any new halls. Instead, it will focus on improving the halls you already have or aiming to acquire, including upgrades and supplementary content, new tech, to help beef up the areas you've been asking for. Did you help write that with the beef up, Derpy?
No, I'm anti-beef. We established this.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because I'm not sure why they threw that word in there. BP will be releasing new Tier 9 heavy turrets, corrosive, concussive, and penetrative, Tier 9 building armors, and long-awaited Tier 9 defender armors. It appears that they're releasing some, if not all, through bounty as far as the defensive stuff, which people have their opinions on. I think it should be released through pillage, FM, raid, whatever, as far as the defender stuff, because people that don't want to participate in bounty still need this kind of stuff
if they want to defend their base.
Yeah. And then we have the PvE assault cycle. Does somebody else want to read? Lady Cat, do you want to read this for me? Because I have a hard time with the second sentence. I just want somebody else to read it.
Okay, for the PvE assault cycle.
Yeah.
In the past, similar challenges have been mostly about trial and error, discovering where the danger lies and adjusting on future runs. In the upcoming targets, we have tried to give more information up front to make it more of a puzzle. Priority targets will be clear from the start, and carefully marked areas will telegraph the most important features.
Well, then it doesn't make it a puzzle, does it?
Yeah, I mean the
It's
second
just
sentence
not.
between the first and second, it doesn't make sense to me. That's
So,
why.
beforehand, they're saying we kind of throw a raid target at you, and it wouldn't really be clear what your best approach was, so you'd hit it and start refining it after a few runs.
Yeah.
And now we're going to tell you the information ahead of time so you can sort of see what we want you to do, and then you continue to get better over a few runs. I don't see a great difference between the two of these. I also think that these targets have less information up front and are less clear and are more confusing than the previous targets. I don't see clearly marked areas. I don't see more information. I don't see important features being telegraphed to me. I don't see things being explained in game, out of game, whatever.
Maybe this is their new approach.
So their new approach is what their first line is.
It's trying it like, okay, we had to figure out the obelisk pop up and then you stun them, right? It sounds like trial and error.
And you can't even see the damn thing when you enter the target, so it definitely is not information ahead of time.
Yeah.
And it's not carefully marked either.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe I think I just don't see it as far as what they're trying to do. So, and I put the link out there in case anybody'd like to join the show. But yeah, I don't get it either. So, unless next week they're going to provide the strategy guide, or on Monday or Tuesday there'll be a strategy guide. Maybe that's what this means.
Well, if the past strategy guides or anything to go by, they don't really give you much information either.
No.
Well, especially the second one in the cycle. Like, oh, here's the auto one, here's the driving one. I mean,
and it's always the lower numbers, the auto one.
Yeah. So. All right. I don't know. Are we missing anything? Is there anything else we should be discussing?
Oh, the PIA contest is off to a very amazing start, so I've heard. I have not taken it to torturing my particular animals.
Oh my God, tortured.
Well, I did send you that picture of a Pomeranian in a cow costume, right?
I believe I did see that. I don't think it was sent directly to me, but
yeah. So I don't know. There's options out there, and then you're not a big fan of the idea that I was going to, the idea of somebody dressed in a furry costume, dressed as a pirate, would also be potentially in play for this whole thing.
I actually was not the biggest fan out of that idea there.
Okay. So, I don't know. So I don't know if we have much else in the unless Lady Cat, you want to discuss you want to do the breakdown on the
No.
On the pirate.
Been there, done that.
Alrighty. I mean, the guinea pigs do provide a tasty treat.
They were very cute.
Yeah.
They're going to be a real challenge to beat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. That's sort of the way I read it, James. They word it sound like they're doing something when in reality it's the same, and that's how I read it. So we've covered PvP weekend and the targets. Unless somebody wants to jump on and show a better way to do it, I mean, I know people are doing quite well on VXP weekend if they've coined and, have
If you coin,
four,
yeah.
and you can run through this target and it's fairly easy for VXP. But it's not really what we've seen recently as far as VXP targets. There's always like, you edge up to this, you do this, and then you have the ability to get a good amount of VXP for free. But this is not what's going on at this point in time. And the other concern that I have is the lack of more brought up my previous concern that I was talking about with the HTML5. I'm sorry. The fact that previously I could not get into HTML5, and then the next thing I know, I get into HTML5 and I don't have any range finders, anything going on. And we have, we have 2 months left, and it makes me a little worried. I've been playing this game for a long time. I'm not going to be able to play the game without seeing the range of my weapons. I mean, I'm going to be, how am I actually going to do anything well in these targets if I cannot even see the range of my weapons, but I can see the range of other auras? So it doesn't feel like it's something on me, because I can see, everything else going on. I'm quite frustrated with some parts of the HTML5 implementation. And I would suggest people send in tickets if you have similar issues. I haven't sent in tickets yet, but I would do it. But everybody else's HTML5 is working.
Well, I've been using only HTML5 for the last probably 3 months, and
Okay.
even in the last 4 or 5, I've only been on there on Flash a handful of times. My computer is not; it's a laptop. It technically doesn't even meet the minimum requirements in terms of the speed, processor speed. But
Mine
it works
does.
for me.
Yeah, mine does. And
So I think you need to buy a really slow computer that doesn't meet the requirements, and then you'll do better.
yeah, and mine barely meets it because the number of cores relative to what they expect. So it's close. It's above the requirements. But yeah, it is. It really don't. I am getting a little bit worried as far as the fact that basic things like the range of my weapons don't show up, and how I would continue to play, after the next 2 months.
Oh, well, at least you got the option of both. I can't get into Flash even if I wanted to use it. I just get the thing saying download the latest version. Click on the link and nothing happens.
What browser are you using?
Chrome,
Okay, and when you click on it, what happens?
nothing. It says click, download the latest version, and it shows a link. But when I click on it, nothing happens. It doesn't go anywhere.
Okay, because I have that, but it doesn't even download it. It just transfers to it, starts working in my version of.
Yeah, well, mine, it doesn't. It just sits there. You can click for the next half an hour and nothing will happen.
Yeah. Is everybody else using Chrome?
I'm using Chrome and I'm doing HTML.
Mickey's saying click the padlock on the URL to allow Flash. I don't know if you want to screen share as far as when you do this, because that might be helpful if you want to.
Yeah, all right.
I'll share it and we can. Because I guess I clicked that a while ago. Because I don't have a problem with Flash. My problems were with HTML5. So let me know, or yeah. But when Skinner, you don't have to download it the next time. It just shows you that it's sort of a permission thing as far as Flash. My worry is about HTML5, as far as the fact that I'm not getting near the functionality that. Okay, I'm going to. All right. Okay, click to. I can't. Okay, plugin blocked. See where it says that? Look up into your URL on the right. There we go. See where the red dot left.
Okay, see the star
There.
button? Yeah, right
Yeah,
there.
there we go. A little puzzle piece.
Not click manage. Click back on it.
Manage.
Yeah. You might have to enable it there, and no, it's not on.
Block sites
Not
from
bad.
running Flash. Take that little slider right there. Make it green.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so it's click allow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got it by the looks of it.
There we go. So,
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. So hopefully we fix the can't use Flash issue, but yeah, I'm still worried about my functionality and in HTML5, but hopefully that'll get sorted out over the next couple months. But it is a little bit worrisome.
Yeah, well, I had an issue which I don't know what the explanation is. I got hit a couple of times, and for some reason the base defense fleet didn't repair. Yeah, there was some health taken out. Like I actually won the battle, but the next time the same guy hit me, as my defense fleet started off minus full health. So I put in a ticket, and they didn't really show anything. And funnily enough, the battle log showed the other guy's fleet fully repaired, and mine is, minus 10% here and there, which I thought was rather strange. So I sent it into it, and they basically just said, "Oh, customer service can't do anything. We just forward it on to our game team." So they couldn't explain what happened or why it happened or anything.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. Anybody else have any ideas on that? I don't have the answer for that. I don't understand the player experts. I'm not quite as in tune with them as some other people.
No, well, the player experts didn't even touch this one.
Yeah. Okay.
So the only response I got was from customer service. So there's still obviously glitches out there.
Yeah. They're out there, and time is drawing near as far as what's going to happen and what our expectations should be as far as because I can't do a raid if I don't even know well, I could do a raid, but I want extra points if I can't even see the range of my my ships, because that's a whole different thing, right?
Yeah, well, if you can't,
If
if you
can't
don't know
see
what's
the range,
happening, it's going to cost you a fortune.
or you got to do it by feel, which is a challenge. I just want everybody else to have that same challenge that I have, where I can't see the range. I'm up for that challenge, but I'm not. I'm not gonna. I don't want to be the, part of the 5% that only has. You got to figure out what your range is. So, yeah, I'm good. So, okay. Well, I think we've cleared up a few issues on VXP weekend, even though it still sucks. And as far as players having problems with Flash, I think we've solved those. And as far as what's going on with, if you want to get the Derpy Happy Meal at your local McDonald's, he says it's available today.
Yep, I'm gonna go over there right after the show and go get one.
Excuse the tooth marks.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, he's gonna sear every chicken McNugget with a hoof mark, which might be a good move. And just so you know, there was one thing I saw missing in that whole thing. What is this? I think chicken nuggets need a sauce. And what was the sauce that you were as part of the Derpy meal?
Well, let's see. We didn't want to provide any ketchup to people because that would be too easy there.
Yeah.
I was thinking some sort of vegan barbecue sauce.
Okay. All right. We're going barbecue as opposed to sweet and sour or honey mustard.
No.
Okay. Or a sriracha based sauce. Okay. So we're going barbecue here. So alrighty, people. I'm going to post the link one last time, and feel free to join. And we'll see you all on Wednesday, and hopefully know more, and hopefully it's good stuff to know.
Good night, all.
All right. Goodbye.
And I got your chicken. So later, everybody.